I am grateful to have just successfully conduct our spring grant service together with all of you. For those whom I am seeing for the first time this year, Happy New Year. I sincerely thank you for your diligent work for the past and our mission headquarters in America in the past year. And for this year, I ask for your continued and even greater support. As we have just performed our spring grant service, I would like to share some of my thoughts in today's sermon. I ask for your kind attention. As you know, this month, on the 26th, the Kagura service and the Theodore service dance will be performed at the church headquarters for its spring grant service. Just now, we have completed our spring grant service, our own spring grant service, which received the choice of this Kagura service and the Theodore performed at the Jiba. The significance of the conducting spring grant services lies in remembering that Oyasama withdrew from physical life on January 26, 1887, shortening her natural term of life by 25 years to encourage the spiritual growth of all humankind, her children. Therefore, our spring grant service here is also performed with similar significance. But this begs the question, why did Oyasama have to withdraw from physical life? You will be able to understand this matter by reading the life of Oyasama. To summarize, from around 1874 until the time that she hid her physical presence, whenever the disciples performed the Kagura service or Theodore, which she had been urging, Oyasama was either detained or imprisoned by the police, or the risk for that was very high. Thus, our predecessors hesitated to do the service. Because of this, Oyasama withdrew from physical life, so that our pioneers could perform the service without having to worry about her physical well-being. However, Oyasama did not merely withdraw from physical life. Immediately after her withdrawal, the following divine direction was given. Quote, Sasa, I shall level the ground. Has everyone assembled? Has everyone assembled? Listen and understand well. All that I have said until now was put into the container of truth. But now God has opened the portals and stepped out. Because of my love for you, my children, the parent shortened her life by 25 years to step out and save the world from now. Observe well what the past has been and what the past will become. When I asked whether I should open the portals or keep them closed to level the ground, you answered, please open the portals and level the ground. I have done as you wished. Sir, there were the things I had intended to give you, my children, but I was not able. I shall bestow this truth on you, step by step hereafter. Remember this well. Unquote. As stated here, Oyasama let us know that despite withdrawing from physical life, she would continue working for the salvation of the world, just as before. Further, Oyasama stated that she would now bestow the truth of the Sasuke, which she was not able to do freely while she was physically present. Indeed, afterward, a great number of people received the truth of the Sasuke, and this continues to this day. Although we can no longer see her, Oyasama is still actively working for the salvation of the world. 2 years ago, in the instruction for the Shinbacha stated, quote, on the lunar calendar date of January 26, 1887, Oyasama withdrew from physical life by shortening her time of life in order to hasten the spiritual goals of all humankind, her children. Yet she remained ever living at the residence origin, providing her workings and guidance at the forefront of world salvation. The significance of observing an anniversary of Oyasama, therefore, is to respond to her parental love by making decisive progress in spiritual growth, with each and every yogoku raising his or her awareness of being Oyasama's instruments. Further, the period of 3 years, 1,000 days that leads up to an anniversary of Oyasama is a time for us to actively move forward on the path of single-hearted salvation by implementing the teaching with our sights set on the divine model. Unquote. As mentioned here, in order to respond to Oyasama's parental love that continued to work for world salvation, we have set a 3 years, 1,000 days period to decisively engage in our activities toward her 140th anniversary. Now is the season to actively promote our effort to show Oyasama the tangible fruits of our activities at the time of the whole anniversary service. Oyasama's intention is entirely dedicated to the salvation of the world. Her single desire is to transform this world into one of the joyous life. For those of us who practice the Tenrikyo faith, we must firmly settle this in our minds. And as yogoku, who are Oyasama's instrument, we need to advance toward world salvation. To achieve this, we perform the service and administer Sasuke. In other words, we will help others to be saved. As you know, our 90th anniversary will be held on June 30th of this year. We only have about 5 months remaining until then. And I am sure that you are also aware of our anniversary slogan and our goals for spiritual maturity. Our slogan is, share our joy of faith with our family, friends, and communities. And we have set 3 goals for spiritual maturity. Today, I would like to talk about the concept of saving others, which is one of our goals. Quote, let's work for salvation for others. Unquote. In Tenrikyo, saving others means to save people's minds, which ultimately leads to the negative causality being transformed into a positive one, thereby leading to the joyous life. In the instruction form, it states, quote, if we find people who are suffering from illnesses or other problems, let us reach out to them with love and care, and pray for a solution through performing the service. We can administer the Sasuke to those who are ill, and let them know that there is a path by which they can truly be saved." Unquote. First of all, let us take a good look at those around us, our family, colleagues, or others we encounter regularly. If they have not yet embraced our Tenrikyo faith, please try to talk with them. Even if you don't talk about the teaching directly, try to incorporate your daily life of faith into the conversation and make an effort to impart the fragrance of our teachings upon them. Furthermore, if someone is facing illnesses or problems in life, the first step is to listen to their innermost heart. While many of us may want to convey the teaching of Tenrikyo to them so that they can somehow be saved, it is important to refrain from this impulse. Instead, I want to ask you to start by listening to their story, which will remove what can be called the mud accumulated in the water of their minds. For example, let's imagine that there is a cup filled with the brim with muddy water. Consider this cup as their innermost heart, and the muddy water as the root cause of their illnesses or problems. Now let's imagine that you want to remove this muddy water from their minds by pouring into the cup clear water, which represent the teachings. In other words, because you want them to be saved, you convey the teaching to them. However, let's think about this. No matter how much clear water is poured into a cup filled with muddy water, the mud may get diluted, but it will never become clear water. If your goal is to have the cup filled only with clear water, you would need to remove the muddy water first, and then pour in the clear water. One method to remove the muddy water from the cup of the people's minds is to listen to the innermost heart of those facing illnesses and difficulties in their lives. In other words, we first need to listen to them in order to be able to help them free their minds of complaints and dissatisfaction, which is the muddy water within the vessel of their minds. I believe that this is what is meant in the instruction 4 when the Shinbasha said, quote, "Reach out to them with love and care," unquote. During this process, there may be occasion when you perform the special prayer service for them or administer the sasuke to those who are ill. However, when doing so, it is crucial for us to pray for the salvation of their minds, which is the root cause of their illnesses and the problems in life. And ultimately, let us aim for the elimination of their negative causalities. To achieve this, I believe it is crucial to first listen to their innermost heart, which will remove the muddy water from their minds, and only after that should we convey the teaching so that they will settle them in their minds. Help them understand, and if they embrace the Tenrikyo teaching, their mind can be saved, and that their negative causality can be transformed into a good one. Through this understanding, please guide them toward the path of their salvation, It is essential to guide them so that eventually they will become people who can work together with us for the salvation of the world. An example of this concept was featured in the special article in the last November issue of Michino Tomo. It is a story about the two non-Tenrikyo men who had rescued a woman drowning in a lake. The woman's family was very grateful, and the two men were very happy about their good deed. However, later on, they learned that this woman had said, "No one understands how I feel," and wound up taking her own life. They lamented while they had saved her life. They were unable to save her mind. Distressed, they sought guidance from a Tenrikyo head minister. They told him that they did not know how to save a person's mind. This story can provide us with very rich insights. We often find ourselves focusing solely on the salvation of people's illnesses or problems in life. Helping people be saved from illnesses and problems is, of course, important. But the true essence of salvation in Tenrikyo goes beyond this. The salvation of people's mind is primary. True salvation lies in the elimination of one's negative causality and transforming it into the positive one. At the last year's Autumn Grand Service, the Shinbasha said, quote, "The first thing we must remember is that Oyasama never stopped trying to nurture people no matter what happened over the course of 50 years. This, I believe, must also be borne in mind as part of the divine model." Unquote. The Shinbasha is saying here that Oyasama dedicated herself to guiding and nurturing our predecessors for a period of 50 years. This also is a part of the her divine model. While it may be easy to say that words saved others, the content of these words requires many years to achieve. I believe it is like raising children. It takes decades to guide and nurture them until they mature into adults. When we view it this way, I believe we can say that ever since the establishment of this faith, Oyasama had worked diligently for 50 years, continuing to nurture our predecessors, including her family and relatives. Moreover, Oyasama is ever living and is actively working for the salvation of the world. Therefore, it can be said that she is nurturing us as well. Viewed in this light, we can see that Oyasama's parental love for us is not something that we should take for granted. While it may be difficult for us to match Oyasama's dedication in nurturing people, let us follow her example and steadily work to guide people who are beset by illnesses or problems to become saved in mind. In his message at the last year's Young Men's Association Convention, the Shinbasha said, quote, "If there are people who cannot believe in the existence of God the Parent, Oyasama, opened their minds through instances of wondrous salvation and conveyed the original intention of God the Parent, who created human beings. patiently guiding them until their minds are replaced with the mind of saving others so that they can implement the joyous life. Likewise, it is vital for us to be mindful of spreading the fragrance of the teaching on a daily basis. Honestly, administer Sasuke to those who are ill, perform the service in prayer for the salvation of those beset by other problems, and continue sincerely guiding them until they can settle the teaching in their minds. Such is the salvation of the past. In this way, more and more people were able to live the joyous life by implementing the teaching in the spirit of single-heartedness with God. This is what it means to work for single-hearted salvation. Unquote. I believe that salvation in Tenrikyo is to help guide people to be able to transform their minds to practice the joyous life, and eventually want to help save others. This is what we are aiming for when we try to save others. I would like to delight if you could remember this point when implement our 90th anniversary goal for spiritual maturity of, quote, let's work for the salvation for others, unquote. Now, let me change the topic a bit. Last year, in preparation for Oyasama's 140th anniversary, forwards in each region collaborated for their Action Day for all Yoga events and engage in their joint activities. The second round of this Action Day is scheduled to take place in early June of this year. I encourage everyone to reach out to your local district leaders to confirm the date, time, and the venue for your activities. I hope that as many people as possible will participate. I thank you in advance for your beset efforts. Lastly, as I mentioned earlier, on June 30th of this year, we will be conducting our 90th anniversary commemorative service. Additionally, the day before, on 29th, we will hold a joint convention commemorating the 70th anniversary of both the Women's Association and the Young Men's Association of America and Canada. We will be honored with the presence of Mrs. Haruhi Nakayama, the President of the Women's Association, and Mr. Daisuke Nakayama, the President of Young Men's Association. With our slogan, the goal for spiritual maturity, settle in our minds and implement, let us demonstrate our spiritual growth on the day of our anniversary. Over the next 5 months, I trust that the followers within our diocese will unite their minds and take a step towards spiritual maturity. On the day of the event, I hope that as many people as possible will gather and that we can celebrate our anniversary with joy in our heart. Also, for the Joint Convention for Women's Association and the Young Men's Association in America and Canada, I hope that as many members as possible from both associations will participate. To that end, I kindly ask each association member to invite all your members to attend. With these requests in mind, I would like to conclude my talks for today. Thank you very much for your kind attention.